we have a fight on our hands, Leroy.
Yeah.
People were worrying, was this going to get stirred up between the Heat and the Bucks? Well, guess what? Just call this gumbo because we stirred it up. It's going, Leroy.
Hey, use your own food.
What does that mean?
That means you use something that you are familiar with. Don't be throwing gumbo into the mix.
I don't know what else you stir up. What else do you stir?
Anything. You don't eat.
Call it a cookie batch because we're stirring it up, Leroy. So yesterday we talked about Drew Holiday's slanderous trash talk at the Miami Heat.
Really?
Where he's like, he don't have as much talent as us. Well, Eric Spoelstra was asked about this yesterday, and let's see what old Coach Spo had to say.
Yesterday, Drew Holiday said, quote, "I feel like talent-wise, we have a bit more of that." Is that a quote you heard? Is that something you'd share with your team? How would you evaluate his assessment of the talent between the two teams?
That has nothing to do with how the series is going to play out.
Really?
Woo!
Can I
Frosty.
Stop. I'm not gonna let you.
He is not happy, Leroy. He is not happy.
Here's the deal. If I took 200 coaches, 200 coaches, and put them in that same spot, they all say the same thing. Why do you think
you're so wrong
your coach is stirring it up? No, that's accurate.
Oh, no.
Everybody, if Drew Holiday feels they have more talent, right? Is it safe to say that most talented team doesn't always win?
I think that what Eric Spoelstra, when he hears, you couldn't see the steam coming out of Eric Spoelstra's ears when he heard the.
All right,
all right. You thought that the tea was ready, but it was really just Eric Spoelstra's head about to explode from the trash talk that Drew Holiday's throwing out there.
Okay, all right.
He is. You know what that? You know where that's going?
Where?
The old bulletin board.
Here's the other thing. On Saturday at 2:00 or 2:30, whenever they play, it won't matter. Like it won't matter.
We'll see.
Like, because guess what? You can be fired up and motivated to play in the game and still get your ass kicked. So I never could figure out the bulletin board stuff because at some point you're gonna need some talent to win.
Would you like to hear some trash talk from Bam Adebayo?
Sure.
Bam's my guy. I'm a real one. So I wanted to ask him about, being in a rematch series.
Did you man up in your question, or did you soft talk it?
No, I think it was. I don't know. You could be the judge of that, but the big thing here is because I know you're going to get lost in the question, but really what you want to hear is the answer, because what Bam is doing here in the answer to my question is
you're going to deflect before I even hear it, and let me make my.
Because I know you. I know you're gonna be focused on the wrong. You're like a Jack Russell. You're gonna be focused on the wrong thing. Yeah. And I need you to be.
What do I have? A short attention span?
I need you to be.
You threw the ball. You threw the ball, and I was looking at a leaf or something.
I need you to be focused on the haymaker that Bam throws the Bucks way.
Oh,
because I wasn't even trying to.
Hey, Bam. A lot of the best, most intense playoff rivalries come from rematches, and there's been some good ones over in Heat history. How much are you revel in the fact that you're going into kind of like the next era of one of you versus Bucks round 2?
It's gonna be a battle. That's pretty much how I see it. They're definitely thinking about last year, and they want their get back. Like it's not a surprise. Like it's not like a secret. Like, so best thing for us is to bring our intensity and show up.
Woo!
Are you serious?
Hey, Robbie, turn the AC in down here, man, because the heat is in the kitchen right now.
So question: who are you talking about when you say the what did you say the younger you or
what? No, I was saying the best playoff series a lot of times are rematches. There's been some great ones in history. Knicks, Heat,
Yeah.
Pacers. Yeah, I didn't want to filibuster. Heat
Right.
Bulls. It's a lot of intense playoff series or rematches. Now we got ourselves a little rematch, and so Bam's kind of in that next era.
Well,
and you know what Bam said? He says, "Hey, we know we're in their head." That's basically what he's saying. He's saying that politely, but what he's saying is, we're in the head. We're in that. Listen, we know we got to bring it because we're in their head. That's all they've been thinking about. Giannis wakes up in the morning and all he thinks about is me.
You are starting. Here's what you're starting to do. You are starting to be the thing that athletes hate.
What are you talking about?
In sports. He answered the question.
Yeah.
You went on to say what you think he meant.
And
then he'll come back and say, yo, I did not say that.
Well, I'm not saying he said that. I'm just saying you could tell that's what he meant.
I thought athletes hated you when you asked the same question but ask it differently.
Right. I didn't do that.
Also mean when you answer a question and they infer what you meant.
Well, listen, because here's what's happening. Like he was trying to tiptoe around. Trying to tiptoe around the answer.
Really?
But let's get to it. All right. You know, nobody's gonna go out here and say, "Oh, last year doesn't matter." We're gonna hear that up and down the wazoo. All right. But the truth is,
I think it does. I think it does matter from this standpoint. It matters from the standpoint of Milwaukee knows what they have to do to win and what they didn't do, and from the Heat's perspective, as Bam really said, not what you thought he said. He said, "Look, these guys have been, top 2 in the conference for the last couple of years, and it was a bad series loss to the Heat last year. So just imagine the intensity that they're going to come with to try to avenge that loss last year." So he knows.
I think you put more words into his mouth than I did.
No, I did.
I was just reading between the lines.
That's what he actually said.
Nah.
He said, "Look, we got them last year. They're going to come with a lot of intensity to try to avenge that. We got to bring our intensity also. And we have to understand that the intensity that they're coming with, we got to be ready to match it." That's it.
I went and I heard that and I was like,
no, look, you know what? Here's why. Because what
we got ourselves some trash talk.
You have to go in. You have to go in, okay, with the attitude of informing our people.
Yeah. Well, I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist.
But no, you sometimes go in there with a pot full of silly sauce. You start giving everybody a little cup full right before practice, right? Cup full of silly sauce. And then when they start talking, that's all you hear is blah, 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 blah. Got him. You wait till you hear what Bam had to say, right? And you could tell. You know when it's coming.
That's a money quote.
That's a money. You honestly think you think he said anything? You know what? I was asked that once in a game.
What?
That you guys haven't beat Pittsburgh in the last 7 games. And they said that. And my response was, what the hell does that have to do with Sunday?
Why wouldn't it have anything to do? Like, you tell me that the Spurs didn't think about losing to the Heat, Ray Allen, Game 6. You don't think they thought about that the entire year?
But when you start playing the damn game, you ain't thinking about that.
Oh,
You're thinking,
sure
I better catch this ball because I don't want it to be 8 in a row.
I think Ginobili thought about it the entire time. Tim Duncan thought about it the entire time.
Really? Okay.
They know about those streaks.
But listen, you have to be quick on it. Robbie, you can't just allow, Milwaukee to come in here and counterpunch you right away. You need to be ready and a ready set go. That's what Bam's telling you. We know we've been thinking about it.
The Canes have lost 7 in a row to Florida State, and of course they're thinking about it when they play Florida State when they broke the streak. They're thinking about the 7 in a row that they lost.
You know how I would start this series if I were the Heat?
Fisticuffs.
Shut down Giannis. Double him. Get the ball out of his hands. If the other guys beat you, then you can adjust to that.
Yeah, it's hard to guard Giannis with Domantas Sabonis.
Again, like I would guard him. No running starts. Dude is just unstoppable when you let him just walk up the court and then get a nice little running start from, the timeline. And then he does the little spin move and the layup or the spin move and the dunk. Get the ball out of his hands early, as soon as he crosses midcourt. Now, if Drew Holiday and Middleton, if they come through and they start making shots, then you adjust. But right away, I'm not worried about Drew Holiday and Middleton. I'm worried about the MVP.
Robbie, you thought that was some Heat trash talk, yeah?
It was. I think they were sending a message
You
across
guys
the
are
bow.
idiots. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. That's not trash talk.
Right across
You know
the bow.
what? Look, and first of all, if I want my trash talk from the Heat,
Yeah.
I'm not going to Bam. I'm going to Jimmy.
Or Gogi,
No.
if I'm honest.
Incorrect. No, because Jimmy doesn't say nothing.
Really?
He doesn't say nothing. He's not going to give you nothing.
I can see Gogi.
Well, I don't know anybody else calling somebody on the other team trash.
But he does that on the court. He won't do it in
What? He didn't do it on the court. When
well, that was afterwards. He won't do it before a series, though.
Oh, TJ Warren.
TJ Warren.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, I would look. Spo said what he was supposed to say. Bam said what he was supposed to say. Like, I don't know why y'all think that.
Well, it was hard for Spo to get an answer because he was so fuming with anger.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what we doing now?
Yeah.
You look, you know what? You don't have to rev it up for it to be a good series.
I'm not revving it up. I'm taking it on face value.
You are you're not. You know what you're doing, right? You gave the little kid an extra cherry on his ice cream. Like, you didn't have to do that. You don't think this series is going to be exciting?
Oh,
you don't think right? You don't have to say, "Oh, somebody was talking trash." I mean, of all the guys that you say were talking, they actually went to Spo, and this is how crazy, right? This is what makes me just gets me going. Is this right here? If you say to anybody in the league, Drew Holiday was talking trash, they would laugh at you.
Yeah.
They went to Spo with this nonsense.
Yep.
You think they don't know Drew Holiday? That guy ain't talking trash.
Nah, he was angry.
He was angry at the question.
Nah, I don't think so. I think he's mad at Drew Holiday. I don't think he's mad at
like, you know what? Anybody who talk trash to me, like, you got to play him. It ain't gonna do him no good.
We'll take a quick break. 786-360-0790. We're back after this. Hey, Robbie, can I get a little soundage from yesterday? So Trevor Ariza, he is a new Heat starter into this lineup, and a lot of people are like, "Hey, can he do what Jay Crowder did last year for the Miami Heat?" Jay Crowder, obviously fantastic, especially in that Bucks series with what he did versus Giannis Antetokounmpo. And here's Trevor Ariza saying, "I'm my own guy."
Jay he was an unbelievable player here for this team. He did things that, I didn't watch them all year, so I can't say what he did. But the things that he did do for this team was really good. The chemistry that they had was great. But again, it's a different team. We might be similar players, but we have different roles or different attributes about ourselves. So to say that I can come in and do what he did would be probably disrespectful to what he brings to teams. And, I'm my own individual player at that too. So I like to think what I do is good.
Yeah, and better. It's kind of what I got from the translation there. Just saying.
Of course you did.
I just
your translation is usually nowhere near what they actually said.
That's not true. I take it for what it is, and I'm just saying. Hearing
the guy said it would be an insult to Jay Crowder to say that I do a lot of the things that he does, and you said no. See, now let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
because I'm familiar with your game.
Yep.
This is how you do things.
All right.
Flip the two. So I say Jay is here now.
Yep.
And Trevor was here last year and left.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay Crowder says the same thing. You'd say the same thing about Jay Crowder.
What are you dealing fantasy? What are you, Gandalf?
Because he plays for the Heat. No,
I
of
just
course you
do
would.
you have little hobbits rolling around? I mean, like, what do I Doc Brown? I get into a time machine. I could just change how history is. I'm just dealing with what I deal with now. You know, I like to deal in the little thing, Leroy, I call reality. And
Really?
what I'm saying is that
Wait. So
Trevor,
where did you hear better?
I'm just saying, like, you could just
No,
tell in
no.
tone.
If you like to
In
deal in
tone.
reality, wait. If you like to deal in reality, when did Trevor say better?
Listen to it back, Robbie. If you could play Trevor Ariza one more time, and you listen to Ariza Comboyo, if you can listen to him and you hear what he has to say, you could basically say he's saying I'm better than Jay Crowder.
But
Jay is he was an unbelievable player here for this team. He did things that you know, I didn't watch them all year, so I can't say what he did, but the things that he did do for this team was really good. The chemistry that they had was great, but again, it's a different team. We might be similar players, but we have different roles or different attributes about ourselves. So to say that I can come in and do what he did would be probably disrespectful to what he brings to teams.
But not definitely.
And you know, I'm my own individual player at that too. So I like to think what I do is good.
There you go. Boom. Told you. Because he's saying, like, hey, what he did for this team was fine. You know, I like to think what I do is good. You know, to say that I could do what he could do is insulting to him because he can't live up to those standards. That's not true. Who wants to say, like, it's kind of disrespectful. Like, if I were to say to, you know, Blake Ahern, hey, Blake Ahern, you could be Michael Jordan. It would be insulting to Blake Ahern. You're insulting his intelligence. You know, Ariza doesn't want to insult Jay Crowder's intelligence by telling him, hey, you know, Jay Crowder, Trevor Ariza, you tell me who's more valuable. Just saying. Anyway, let's hear a little from Bam Adebayo, huh? So Bam yesterday, you know, he was asked about if the Heat have flipped the switch, getting ready for the postseason, if they have gotten to that playoff mode. And here's what the Heat big man had to say.
It's already been flipped because if it wasn't flipped, we would definitely be playing or out of the playoffs because it was a point in time where we were almost the worst team in the East. So it's definitely a switch.
Big climb up from 7 under 500, Leroy. Big climb.
I can buy into that. And one of the things going into the playoffs, if you want to feel good about the Heat, is that they haven't really been healthy.
Yep.
You know, I mean, how often have they all played together without somebody being out? Whether it's Gogi, whether it's Tyler. You know, they added Trevor Ariza, they added Dwayne Dedman. How many of these guys? How many of these guys weren't even on the team when the Heat were having these struggles, either with injury or just not physically being on the team? So I could see that. You know, I do believe that one thing I like about all the guys they added was it was for defensive purposes mostly. And I think when the game slows down, when it becomes more of a half-court game, which I don't even know if that's even true anymore, when they say playoffs are more of a half-court game, I don't know how true that is because teams are still chucking up threes.
Yeah, a lot of the times these games can get swung basically just on the threes.
Right. And of all teams, if I had to pick any team that was in the play-in or in the playoffs, if I said this team's going to score 144 points, you'd say the Nets, and that's it. And Indiana scored 144 points. I don't care who it's against. 144 points is a lot of points in the NBA.
Here's a little bit more from Bam on what it was like dealing with the bad part of this season. Here's what Bam had to say on that.
It was growing pains, you know. Everybody was looking at me like I was crazy when I was like, yo, like it's it get better as you go. And you know, everybody was saying like we're not going to the playoffs, this, that, and the third. But I feel like my team and the staff did a great job blocking out the outside noise and just really putting our heads down and honing in on trying to just stack wins.
I like that because he's basically taking a shot at Paul Pierce. When he says they were going to make the playoffs, the only guy I ever heard make that prediction was Paul Pierce. Who's where is Paul Pierce, by the way? Wasn't he supposed to start a podcast?
Really? Who's going to listen to that?
The Paul Pierce Sucks podcast.
The Paul Pierce Sucks podcast, yeah. Oh man. I love it.
I mean, geez. Like, he had a good gig too.
A great gig.
I mean, he had a good gig when he was playing poker.
I mean, I guess. Like, I wouldn't like. You know what, folks? Here's a little something for you. Not everything you do need to be on social media.
That's why I don't have social media.
Like, take pictures of your dog or your kids or your wife when y'all go on vacation. Okay? But your naughty bits, leave that in the house.
Food selfies.
Leave that. Don't send pictures. Don't accidentally take pictures of your junk. If you accidentally taking pictures of yourself and you showing a little something, maybe that picture don't need to be had.
Somebody, Schmeeth and Schmolnick says, who's going to ask Goron if he's going to dial it up? We've already been in the process of dialing. You don't have to ask what's already been done.
Like, man,
like he's
but all these people out there want to take the sexy picture.
Yeah,
like it can't.
Stop.
Just stop. Especially
put
people. Paul Pierce, you was barely hanging on anyway. Nobody didn't want to hear what you had to say, but you was under contract.
Yeah, you're lucky Dwayne Wade went to Turner and didn't take your job.
I think to be honest with you, I think they like Turner better. They can just go and freewheel it.
By the way, there's no more Dwayne Wade on Turner now. Just for because now they're in the playoffs. It's going to be the same crew every night. It's going to be the A team every night.
Hey, we can't get Dwayne Wade, but we can get two of you. Robbie, we should have a fine system so that if Robbie doesn't hit clean feed,
nobody knows what that is except for us three.
Okay, and
it's distracting.
And if you come in double, no Q&A.
You know what? Why don't you guys come back to the studio and then we wouldn't have to use this stupid clean feed and then we wouldn't need to hear double.
Why don't you get our company to buy a couple of cameras?
I'm going to send an email right now.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. They can use my check to get it because they ain't giving it to me. I don't know how good look. Let's be honest. And before you guys think about making this a profession, okay, the cameras that we would be able to get with my check would be cheap ones.
I don't think cameras should cost that much these days, bro. They're doing amazing things with cameras.
I mean, we don't even really need cameras. Can't we just use our laptops?
You can.
As long as the Wi-Fi is decent.
That's a whole nother question.
That's another question. And plus, it'd have to be connected into the lab. It's a whole thing. Why, nobody needs to hear the details of this. But I
don't know the details. I don't know how it works. Right?
Well, it should just be, hey, fire up a camera. And it goes into the board, and it should be.
And then JFig can just run it from.
Yeah.
Attach it to Leroy's birthday email. RocksRX says.
Hey, it'd be funny. Could you imagine JFig and Robbie in the same room, and Robbie keep looking back and saying,
JFig, JFig's gonna flip over to our side of the studio real quick. She's gonna leave that.
Right.
She's not gonna be able to be in the same room with Robbie begging for Q&As left and right.
Oh, I never even know. JFig, did you dye your hair?
No.
Somebody asked
that at 6 a.m.
Oh, there we go. Somebody asked that earlier. Okay.
2 people have been asking.
Because you got the Solana going.
No.
Yeah.
Mine is a full bun.
Well, it's a woman bun.
Man.
Not the man bun.
I have an actual bun.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh God.
I can't take nobody serious as a serious tough guy, talking about beating somebody down, about beating me in sports, about being tough, if you toting around a man bun. I can't take you serious. I can't.